Hey everyone, this is going to be a video tutorial on how to increase your storage capacity on the Nabi Dreamtab. Um, as you can see, most of the tablets have about 10 gigs of space, and it usually ends up being too little for everybody by the time they install all the apps and games they want to play. So what we're going to do is move the entire Nabi well, not the operating system, but all the data storage to an external SD card. Um, this is the Samsung Evo Plus. It's the one that's the red in color. This is the one I've done the most testing on, and I highly recommend. For the US viewers, Best Buy, Amazon, they usually have those for about 24 US dollars. Um, this is one of the older Samsung Evos. It's the orange in color. It's okay, but I didn't really necessarily like the performance of this one near as much. And you can get the more generic ones, that you can buy out there, and the performance really goes down. I would spend the money on the Evo, and I've tested that on quite a few tablets, and it definitely the performance difference is noticeable. Okay, so let's see. First thing you need to do before you even start on this is let's go to your settings app. I assume you've been there before. You open up your menu and settings. It's the gear icon. Let's go down to the About tablet at the bottom. Look at your model number. You got the Dreamtab dash. If you have the NV08B, this procedure will work for you. If you have the IN08A, that's the Intel version, and this will not work on that, and I don't have a solution at this time because their bootloader can't be unlocked. Let's see. Let's go ahead and the download will be, as usual, at the underneath the video. I'll have a link to a written tutorial along with the download that you need. This happens to be the NV08B swap storage zip. We'll go ahead and extract that. The extract location doesn't really matter all that much. The convert.bat is the script that's going to run, so, and you can go ahead and open that now. Just don't hit any key. Basically, this script is driven by you pressing the enter key and entering selections to work through the script. Over here on the device, let's get that to tablet. This is a good enough location. Alright, so let's work down the list. Nabi powered onto Android, it is. Nabi connected to the computer via USB, it is. And here's the trick we'll be coming up with your driver install. You need the ADB and fast boot drivers for this to work. Everybody seems to, I won't say everybody, a lot of people have trouble with the drivers. It's a very common issue. I personally use my own, the Nabi Lab drivers, but the Universal Naked and some of the other ones out there, I mean, they do work. So at this point, you should have tried to already install them. If not, this is as good a time as any to install it. It's 1, 2, 3, the fourth step down. So let's go to the ADB debugging enabled. So in settings, you go down to the bottom to About tablet. It's the one at the very bottom, and select that. Up here is the build number. I can zoom that in. You want to click on the build number. This one right there. You want to click on that about 10 times. As you get around that number, it'll say you are now a developer, and it will open a new tab that you didn't have before called Developer Options. It's this one right here. above. Once that's open, you're going to want to enable USB debugging. Yours won't normally be enabled. I had that already enabled on this tablet. See if I can revoke the authorizations too. Okay. Anyway, the USB debugging line right there will need to be checked and acknowledged OK. And this point in time is when you'd install the drivers. If you open your device manager, as you can see, mine has an Android device. These are the Nabi Lab drivers, FUI Nabi 2 ADB interface. So the drivers are installed. If you see a question mark down in this area and no ADB interface at all, you're not going to get very far in the procedure till you get that situation worked out. So the ADB and drivers are installed. We verified that. You will need to allow USB debugging. Note this may not pop up on the tablet until the very first step. There will be a box in the tablet with RSA fingerprint. Check always allow from this computer and click OK. I noticed that that didn't come up on this one. I don't know if it will on this next step or not, or if I didn't get the revoking out. It's already, my computer is already authorized. Let's go ahead with the procedure here. Actually, let me tell you a few things about what you're going to end up doing with the bootloader. Let's look at the device here. Everybody's familiar with the keys. You got power, volume plus is the first one, volume minus is the second. I'm going to go ahead and insert whatever SD card, preferably blank. The script will deal with it if you insert a SD card that has data on it and asks you what you want to do. But in general, you'll want to use the one that you don't mind losing all the data on, because it will be fully erased and you will not be able to take it out of the tablet. Get that card in there and back on the video. Alright. Card installed. Now if you haven't unlocked your bootloader before, when we reboot the tablet, you're going to end up having to unlock your bootloader. Unlocking the bootloader, if you haven't already, will erase the device. So any personal data that's on the tablet will be erased doing this procedure. And it's important to note that there isn't a way to get that back. The data is gone. So be quite aware of that when we go through the unlocking the bootloader step. So again, we'll show that the tablet's on. Let's go back over here and press any key to continue. Oh, this might be it. Here's the ADB RSA fingerprint. This is where you'll click always allow from computer and click OK. It checks the device, makes sure that it's an NV08B, and it's telling me that the bootloader on this device is unlocked, and again highlights that unlocking will erase all the data on the device. Press any key to continue. You'll notice up here is where most of the menus appear on the device, and you have down here is your power, volume plus, volume minus. When we press any key to continue, we're going to go to the unlock bootloader, and up here you'll see a don't unlock or an unlock, and you'll use the keys to manipulate that. So let's press any key to continue. Unlocking the bootloader. I might be able to somewhat zoom this so you can get a look. Not very good and quite blurry, but it says don't unlock, unlock. So what we do here is use volume minus, volume plus, power. Use the volume minus to select unlock, and it just changed from unlock to lock. Then press the volume plus key, and you'll notice it starts erasing the user data. It'll erase the cache. The bootloader is unlocked now. So press any key to recheck the bootloader and make sure it is unlocked. The bootloader is unlocked. All your data has been erased. And now we're booting a standard TWRP session, which is a custom recovery where we're going to do most of the magic that makes this happen. Again, over in the terminal menu, it shows that the red line shows my external card has some amount of data on it, and it asks if I would like to erase the card or let me install a different card. So here's one last part that script saves you in case you've accidentally put a card in it that has information on it that matters to you. So in this case, right now you could, if you did have the card that was in there was a card that you didn't want in there, now would be the time to take it out and put in a clean card, or in my case, I don't really care and I want to just erase the card. So this is going to format our external SD card to the file system, and that's what's going to hold the data. And once we've put this card in and made this mod, that card pretty much needs to stay in the tablet for the rest of at least the lifetime of that particular install, or the tablet won't boot. Another reason to potentially buy, I haven't tried it, I see no reason that a 128 gigabyte card wouldn't work, but it very well could. Alright, so we've checked our card, we've backed up the old boot and recovery, we've swapped the new boot and recovery, the modified ones, back on. We've checked for the disk checking utility patch, and now we're rebooting to the swap storage TWRP, which is a different version. Right now we're formatting the old storage as FAT, and this is so that it shows up in your device when you plug it into a computer, or you can still use some of that old internal storage on the card. So that's pretty much the end of the script. This is going to boot. I may stop the video here because it's going to have to reinstall the whole operating system, and I'll be back afterwards. Okay, and we're back. That took about a little over 3-4 minutes to reinstall the operating system. I already blew through the setup so that we didn't waste your guys' time. Look at settings, storage, and you'll notice that now the internal storage is 57, 54 available, and then if we go down, you can see that the SD card is now what your old internal storage was, which is back to that 10 gigabytes. So I am done for now. I don't think there's anything else to answer. If you have any questions, it's probably easier to get a hold of me at XDA forums, as I never answer the YouTube. The other thing is, I would watch one more video if you're interested. If you've already unlocked your bootloader, there's a method that go through where you can actually save all your data and transfer it over the card without losing anything. And I'll try to attach that video or splice these things together. As you can tell, video recording is not my thing. But if this is as far as you wanted to go, thanks for stopping by.